Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Booster, and welcome to TwinBay Trail Riders, rated absolutely awesome by people who rate such things. Anyway guys, I was late to the starting line, so I'm starting in the third row, and I knew I wasn't going to get a good start, and I thought if I tried to take off ahead of everybody, like some knucklehead would like run into me and knock me down and run me over. And I had a pretty good idea this would happen because I'm one of those knuckleheads that if somebody cut out right in front of me, I would probably accidentally hit them and run them over, and it wouldn't be a good thing. So I decided I would start off kind of slow. It was my own fault that I was late to the starting line, so I'm just going to try to pick people off one after another this first lap and see how far I can get and see if I can catch the leaders, because I'm obviously not going to get a great start from the third row. So here we are, we're taking off, and looking up ahead, there's Matt. And you guys may recognize Matt from some of the other videos. He's one of my riding buddies. I met him last year at the Stanton race. Overall cool guy, fun guy to hang out with, fun guy to ride with. And people are falling down already, so I make my way around him. And look at this, it's single track. It's in the trees, it's in rolling hills, it's just awesome. And look at the calamity up ahead. And I'm impatient, so I'm gonna get around. There we go, I'm around Matt and flying through the bush, trees, bouncing off my helmet left and right, people spinning, people stuck. Whoa, and I wheelie up and I lose control and I'm going the wrong way down the hill, and there's those guys. Whoa, they're not paying any attention. Let me give you guys a little bit of advice, alright? You pay attention when the R class comes through. Like I said, a bunch of knuckleheads will run you over. Keep your eyes open and stay out of our way. Because bad things will happen if you don't have your wits about you. So here we go. We're taking off again. Down the trail. And let's see what's gonna happen. Oh, here we go. This guy in front of me, he's actually a kid. I talked to his dad. I think he's like 13 or 14 years old. And for some reason, every single race, I end up directly behind him on the first lap. So I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but there he is all the same. So it's kind of like I'm out here just like a mobile film crew following him around each and every race we have. So yeah, get a lot of good footage of him. See, coming down into the woods, and look at this. It's like off to an angle, which makes it kind of hard to ride, but at the same time you keep going up and then back down and twisting through these trees, and this is just a delicious trail. I mean, look at this. This is every dirt bike rider's dream. Like the Hare Scramble gods smiled upon this track, and thus it was. I don't know, I'm trying to think of something like intelligent and entertaining to say, but whatever. So we're snaking back and forth. People are falling down. People are all over the place. Look at that guy. He's not even on the trail down there to the right. Somehow he got screwed up and down there. And you can look up ahead and you just see lots and lots of people. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. They passed 2 people right here, and there's still lots of people up ahead of him. So I'm just picking people off left and right. I don't know what position I started in. It was pretty close to last, and I believe the class was pretty close to 30 people. But I'm picking people off one by one. Whoop, get past him. He's an ex-rider, so he's not actually in my class. And I'm on my way. Here we go. This guy in the orange, we're going to see a lot of him. I'm behind him for quite a while. And every time we've got like a little bit of a scene change, if you guys want to I'm stumbling all over my words, but if you want to glance into the upper left-hand corner, there's the map. You can see how far I jump ahead in the race. And look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 6 riders directly in front of me. And most likely they're a combination of the X class, which started right in front of us, and the R class, which is the class I'm riding in. So if I can figure out a way around these guys and just make a few good passes, I can gain a lot of positions really fast. And the technique that I'm going for this year, my strategy is that I'm going to go out, and on the first lap, well, I just misshift twice. On the first lap, I'm going to try to put as many people behind me as possible, okay? I'm going to try to ride pretty fast, relatively hard, not too hard to where I expend all of my energy, but enough to where I put a decent amount of people behind me. And then, after I've done that, I'm going to try to pace myself, step back, and just ride to conserve energy until the race is over to try to maintain that position. I don't know if that's a good strategy, but it sounds alright. There's a guy down. Get past him. Whoa, take a little bit of a crazy line to get through there, but it worked. And look at this. It's all downhill and on the side of hills and just awesome riding. And look at the dirt. The dirt's not pure sand. Like in Michigan, we get a lot of like pure sand trails that just kind of make your bike squirrely, and they're hard to ride in, especially for like guys that are new to racing and not all that great at riding like myself. This nice tacky brown dirt here is just awesome stuff. Get real good grip, real good speed. Actually, that looks like that's a lot different line than we were supposed to take. We were threatened before the race, by the way. And I'm not saying that was a bad thing. That's a good thing. It's a good thing that we're supposed to follow the rules. I want people to follow the rules. I want to follow the rules. I want other people to follow the rules. And I want to win while everyone follows the rules. But we're supposed to stick within like 15 feet of these markers. And it didn't look like we stuck within 15 feet of that last one. But you know what? When you're out here riding, you're just kind of following everybody else and you're following the trail, and you don't always notice. If one guy like takes a shortcut, pretty soon everybody's taking the shortcut, because that's just kind of where the path goes, and you don't really notice the markers once you get out here and moving. Anyway, if you guys will look to the center of your screen, this guy in front of me is a guy that I've raced against many times now, and he is the one riding the CR 500. I mention him once in a while because CR 500s are just cool. You know, he's a cool thing. You gotta give the guy props for riding that beast. But he's riding in front of me, and I swear he's just roosting me on purpose. I mean, I know it's hard not to roost someone and just feed them dirt like crazy when you're riding a 500, but he just whips that throttle and just destroys me. Look at this. Oh, this is amazing stuff right here. Oh, that's just good stuff, those hill climbs. Up until this point, my favorite Hare Scramble I've ever ridden in was Evergreen Creek, and that was because it was hilly, it was tight single track like this, but it had like fast sections. It had a really good setup, and I loved Evergreen Creek. We're not going to be racing it this year, but I'm really hoping that next year it's going to make a comeback into the circuit that we're doing. But this was more of the same. This was a lot like Evergreen Creek. I would put them both on a pedestal, like neck and neck, but I have to give the nod to TwinBay Trail riders on this course. This was great. Like, those two tracks are amazing, and not taking anything away from Evergreen Creek, but this was really something. So here we are, we're going into a more open section, a little bit of a speed section. And this guy in front of me, I think I recognize him as well. I don't remember his name or anything off the top of my head, but I believe I've seen him at some of the other races before, just checking out the BacPac. And whoa, look at that little downhill and that guy off to the side. You had to be real careful coming up to that. Well, not necessarily you, but I had to be really careful coming up to that to make sure that I didn't just go flying over my bars and into the woods all crazy and kill myself. So thank you again, TwinBay Trail riders, for putting those little X's up every time there was a sketchy section coming up, because I looked ahead, I saw those, and it let me know to slow down, and I survived the race. So thank you for that. Here we go. Let's drop the hammer. Watch the speedometer. Here we go. 17, 19, 25, 30, 40 miles an hour. And then back down to 25 because I hit a rock and I got kind of squirrely and then I got kind of scared. But this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. These fun, open, fast sections coupled with the single track through the hills. I can't say enough good things about this. It was absolutely fun. Like, most everyone I spoke to absolutely loved it. A few guys were like, well, you know, it was a little much for racing, you know, it was a little too technical, but I'm of the opinion this was a great track. So this little section right here, I had a lot of trouble with. It looks like everybody else is having trouble with it too, but it was just kind of a technical thing. And look at right here, I should have went up to the right. I could have got around that guy right in front of me, but it was just stupid little mistakes like that are the things that I need to correct in order to become a better rider. I'm not so sure anymore. It's like the physical aspect of things. I'm not sure it's even the riding, because I don't think I'm really that bad of a rider. I can go through a lot of stuff. I just think I make bad decisions, and I guess that'll come with experience, hopefully. See, right here I go to the outside. I should have followed him to the inside, and then I thought that this guy was going to like block past me in and come riding right past me real fast. He didn't end up doing it. I probably could have gassed it and got out ahead of him, but I let those two guys by, and I potentially lost like 2 positions there. And while we're on the subject of me saying potentially rather than I lost 2 positions, that's because I don't know what class they're in. I'm still of the opinion that we need to find a better way to represent what class we're in, whether it's like a colored sticker or something on the back of your helmet. I don't know, something rather than the letter, because I can't ever tell what class someone's in as they pass me, and that would be nice to know. Lay it sideways. Here we go. Back up into the woods. I feel like I'm just going to get repetitive over and over again talking about how great this track was, but this was awesome. This was great. See those X's right there? See, that's letting you know. In this part right here, this downhill was real steep. And in a lot of this, I was actually riding my back brake, and I kind of felt like my back brake was going out. Because I was just, I don't know, I was pushing down on the brake, but the back wheel was just sliding through the dirt because it was so steep. These are fun right here. Whoever like is making races, like I know like eventually like there's separate lines that develop in a race, but I really love split lines through the woods. So there's places to pass and different lines to choose in single track. I really like that. So if you're designing a course and every once in a while you want to make split sections like this, do it, because that's a lot of fun. Now this guy in front of me right now is a guy in the SS class, which for those of you not familiar with the Hare Scrambles or District 14 or anything like that, SS is the 50 plus class, and I'm behind him for quite a while. Right here, this guy, I can see on his number plate, he's got an R plate. I lost 1 position to him there. This was a cool section right here, because you can look down to the left, and I did. You look down to the left, and you can see riders going by down there, and I was thinking like, I wonder what point they are in the race, and then whoa, they're just ahead of me. So I thought that was pretty cool that you could see, like, because it's kind of neat when the loops kind of loop back on themselves, so you can see like, okay, how far ahead is so and so, or that guy I'm chasing, how far ahead is he, and then you can actually like try to catch up to them. I don't know, I just think it's a real cool thing. It was a neat aspect of this race. Alright, so here we go. We're coming up to scoring. And as we pass through scoring, on the first lap, I was in 12th place. So not bad, going from almost last up to 12th. I look up ahead of me, and there's Tyson. He's got his arms raised, cheering for me. Yeah! By the way, Zach, Tyson, and our pastor actually went with us to this race. Zach and Tyson were racing the Team L class, and our pastor just kind of hung along, or tagged along with us to hang out and have a good time. And it was a real good time. Everybody had a whole lot of fun. But here I finally got past the SS class guy, and I think I got past him, right? Yeah. Back into the woods through this section, and I don't know, it's weird. I keep saying like this is I really like this section and I really like this section. Well, guess what? I really liked this section on the side of the hill. I'm glad they didn't put it at the bottom of the hill or anything. I'm glad it was on that angle. It was just a lot of fun. So here we are. I got past him, and there is no one in front of me for a long time. If you check the map right now in the upper left, well, it just switched. You can see how far I went before I see another person. And that guy up ahead right there, that's Zach. His goggles were kind of fogging up a little bit on him, and I guess he was adjusting them, and I caught him there. So since I caught Zach, and Zach's riding team with Ty, I was thinking to myself, man, I must be doing pretty well, because the team guys can kind of conserve energy. So if I can kind of keep on pace with Zach and Ty, I'm probably going to be doing all right. Plus, I'm picking people off still. I mean, I'm catching back up to people. I got past that guy in the SS class, and it took me a long time to catch people in front of him, but I eventually did. So I'm moving up, and I can see 1, 2, and I know that guy. I think both of those guys actually that are ahead of me there. Well, now there's 3, but those 2 guys that are ahead of the guy that's directly ahead of me anyway, I think they're both in my class. So if I can get past them, that's 2 positions, and I will be positioning myself pretty well for a top 10 finish. And I have never finished in the top 10 of my class, so that's one of my goals. That's one thing I really want to do, and hopefully this is the day I do it. Well, hello to you. This guy comes by me, yells, "Booster!" I actually think that's pretty cool when they come by and do that. I'm like, yeah, all right. I try going fast and keeping up for a sec, and it doesn't work. There I just smack my camera on a stick or a tree or a limb or something. I gotta face it back up. And as you guys can see, it looks kind of like it's getting foggy on the screen. That's not actually fog or anything. I'll tell you a little bit of backstory to this. It actually snowed that morning. I mean, this is mid-May. And it snowed that morning, like a ½ inch or something. There was a lot of snow. It was cold. My bike didn't want to start. Like when I got there to the track, I couldn't get my bike started. I kicked and I kicked and I kicked, and it just would not start. And the way that I ended up getting it to start was actually bump starting it down a hill. And the it was actually really hard to do that because I have a Rekluse clutch. And I don't know if you've ever tried to bump start a Rekluse clutch, but it's next to impossible. But I eventually got it to happen. And look, this guy ahead of me, I'm catching him now. He's in my class as well. And the fast guys are fast. But I eventually got my bike started. And I was getting kind of worried that it wasn't going to start for this race, but it did, so I got to go. And this guy in the white coat, I don't know, even though it was cold out, I don't know how you could wear that white coat, because after this race, I was just drenched in sweat. And I don't know how he could do that, but he's out there with a coat. I'm not sure if he's in my class or not, but I followed him for a while as well. This right line right here was a lot better than that left one. Oh, there's me making a mistake. Oh, and I hit a tree. And then the guy with the white coat gets back by me, and just a little mistake. I didn't lose a whole lot of time, but it's those little mistakes that I have to eliminate if I want to try to get better. Well, obviously, but if I want to try to place better, I need to concentrate more and not make little mistakes like that. But I'm really not that far back behind the guy in the white coat there. I can catch back up to him. Not a real big deal. If you can hear my bike right now, it sounds like I'm not running that high RPMs. And that's because I thought that maybe if I run in second gear rather than first gear, I'll get like less wheel spin. And when I get a lot of wheel spin and I hammer the throttle, and then I come into the corner and I brake and I hammer the throttle and come into the corner and brake, rinse and repeat. Every time I keep doing that, it seems like I burn a lot of energy. So I thought maybe if I just ride in second gear and I try to maintain my speed through the corner, I'll use a lot less energy and still be able to like keep about the same speed that I'm trying to keep. I'm not sure if it worked or not, but it was one theory I had anyway. This left line is not the line to take. The right line's the one to take. Get past this guy. What class? Again, I really wish there was a way to be able to tell what class people were in easier. I'll have to brainstorm, see if I can come up with something, and then submit it at the last race of the year. You can submit new rule proposals, so that'll be one of the things I try to think of and come up with a solution. See, I'm catching back up to that guy in the white coat. I can tell. I can absolutely tell that I'm faster than him. I'm not much faster, and I might not be faster on other courses, but on this one, on this particular day, I was riding faster than him. So I don't know. I need to work out how to pass people. I need to get better at that. And I don't want to be one of these guys that pull up behind people and hey, trying to get them to move out of my way. That's not what I want to do. That's not how I want to race. I want to be like that guy. He just got right past him. What I need to work on is getting faster, not getting people to get out of my way. I need to get faster, and I need to learn how to pass. Because I feel like if I don't learn how to pass at this lower level of competition in the class that I'm riding in, eventually someday, if I ever get up to a level of competition where guys are faster, I feel like I'm going to have a lot harder time if I didn't learn like the fundamentals at this lower level, you know? Alright, so I'm coming into scoring again. This is the end of the second lap. And when I roll through this time, I am in 10th place. So again, I've positioned myself pretty well because I've never finished in the top 10 before. And I run into a tree and my front tire's downhill, so I'm having a really hard time getting it out. And pay attention to where I'm on the map right now, okay? And I'm trying to get out. My boot came undone. I need better boots. These boots are thrashed, but I don't feel like spending the money on them this year. And then eventually, I get moving again. Okay. So I got out of that, and here we go. Every time it seems like that I crash, I get like out of sorts. It takes me a while to like get back into a groove, to get back going again. You can see I'm going slower because that took energy, and I just feel weird after I've crashed. And my front tire, I drive my front tire across some slippery roots, I lose the front end, and I jam my shoulder into the ground. And look, I got that arm hanging. Like my arm kind of went to sleep a little bit on that one. I don't know if it gave me, I don't know what you call that. But anyway, it sent little shocks up my arm. And okay, so here we go again. Back to it. I gotta push through it. But Now I'm hearing this weird noise in my engine. It's starting to make this like clanging noise, and I'm like, oh great, what is that? Like, what did I do now? But I don't know. I look up ahead and I can see a guy up there ahead of me, not very far. There he is. I think he's in my class. So really, I'm not that far behind. I mean, I've lost a few positions. I'm screwing up, but it's not that bad. I can get it back. And then I hit a log with my front tire and I fall down the hill. Keep in mind, all of this has happened within 3 minutes. So I gotta pick the bike back up. And you can't tell, but this is steep and I'm having a hard time getting the bike out of this hole. It's just it's not good, okay? It's not a good thing. And then I'm just, I'm over here taking a break. No, don't mind me, guys. Just, head on through. I'm looking at my engine, trying to figure out what's wrong with it, what's making that noise. But I could use a brake anyway, and my handlebars feel all tweaked. I don't think it was my bars though, I think it was my forks, so I'm trying to straighten those out. Might as well, I'm stopped on the edge. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, doing something like that, all within that time frame, that will tire you out. There's Tyson. There he goes. So anyway, fire it back up, and we need to get going again because there is still a race to be run. Heading down the trail and coming through scoring here. I come through on the 3rd lap. And my position says that I am in, I think, 15th or 16th. And anyway, Zach and Tyson were switching over there. They were switching out because they're doing that team ride. And Tyson switched out for Zach. So I got ahead of them when I went through scoring. But now I'm not very far past scoring. And Zach comes by me right here in this area. There he is. So I thought to myself, well, I'll just try to keep up with Zach. It'll be fun running behind him. And I soon found out that Zach, because he's been sitting there resting, has a whole lot more energy than I do at this point. So that's not going to happen. So I decided I would park my bike right here, take a little rest, just leave it right there. And it doesn't have a kickstand, so I just laid it down like that. There's not that many people around, so that seemed like, the best place to put it. But this time, like the rest of the times I was able to keep my bike running, this time my bike died on me. And like I said before, I've got a Rekluse, so I thought, well, I'll try to bump start it. I don't want to spend the energy trying to kick on it here. And the temperature's not really cooperating with me while I'm trying to start it. And the Rekluse was not cooperating this time. So I kicked and I kicked and I kicked and I kicked some more, and I still wasn't able to start it. Eventually I did get it started, but by that time I decided, you know what, I'm falling down all over the place. I've got something wrong with my bike. There's this noise, I don't know what it is. I don't want to destroy my bike, and I don't have a shot at really doing that well anymore, because I keep crashing. So I'll just go and I'll hang out with Zach and Ty and I'll cheer them on. So anyway, come to find out, what I broke was the bracket that holds my pipe on, and my pipe was flopping around, and that's why it sounded all funny, and that's probably why I didn't want to start quite as well at this point after it was warmed up as well. So anyway, guys, tune in next time to the next race, because I think it'll be a good one. I think I'm riding well. I just have to correct a few mistakes, and then I think I'll be able to do all right. Anyway, guys, this is Booster, and I will catch you guys next time.